You know that one person, right? The one who just seems to have luck on their side, where good things just happen to them. But what if I told you it's not random chance? What if it's something we can actually understand and even influence? Well, in this explainer, we're going to pull back the curtain on the surprising psychology of what we call luck.
It's the question we've all asked at some point. Are some people just born under a lucky star? It feels that way sometimes, doesn't it? But the research tells a completely different story. It suggests luck isn't something you're born with, it's something you actively create. So let's dive into how that's even possible.
To really get this, we've got to look at this fantastic experiment. It's so simple, but it reveals everything about the difference between a lucky person and an unlucky one.
So picture this. Researchers brought a bunch of people together and split them into two groups based on one simple thing: how they saw themselves. Group A was full of people who said, "Yep, I'm a lucky person." Group B, they were the ones who said, "You know, I'm pretty unlucky." Then both groups were given the exact same simple task: go down the street to a coffee shop. That's it. And they had no idea they were already in the experiment.
Okay, so this is where it gets wild. The lucky people, on their walk over, they spot a $20 bill just sitting on the sidewalk. They pick it up, go inside, and while they're waiting for their coffee, they start chatting with the person next to them, a successful businessman, as it turns out, and create a potential new opportunity. Just like that.
And the unlucky group, they walked the exact same path, but they stepped right over the $20 bill without ever even seeing it. They went into the coffee shop, got their coffee, sat alone, and left. Same street, same coffee shop, same opportunities, a totally different outcome.
The takeaway from this was massive. Luck wasn't some kind of magical force that picked and chose its favorites. Nope, it was all about perception and interaction. The lucky people were simply more open, more observant, and more engaged with the world right in front of them.
And this brings us to the core idea here. Luck is a mindset. It's not about magic, it's about your mind. It's about the way your brain is actually programmed to operate in the world. So what does this lucky mindset really look like?
Well, when you study people who consistently generate their own good fortune, you see these patterns pop up again and again. They are wide open to possibilities. They're amazing at connecting with other people and building social networks. They're not reckless, but they are willing to take calculated risks. And maybe most importantly, when something goes wrong, they don't see it as a dead end, they see it as a learning opportunity.
Okay, so it's all about mindset. Got it. But that just leads to the next, even deeper question, right? What's the engine that's actually running that mindset? Where does it come from?
Well, the answer lies in what you could call our inner reality filters. Seriously, think about it like there's invisible software running in the background of your mind 24/7. And this software is quietly shaping every single thing you see, feel, and do.
In psychology, specifically in something called schema therapy, this software has a name. It's called a schema. A schema is a really deep, almost always unconscious belief you have about yourself and how the world works. And here's the kicker, these beliefs get wired into us when we're kids, based on our earliest experiences.
I absolutely love this metaphor because it's just perfect. Your schemas are like a pair of glasses you don't even know you're wearing. If the lenses are tinted with, "I'm not good enough," then that's the world you see. They don't show you reality as it is. They show you a version of reality that matches the lenses.
And these filters are active. They're not just sitting there. They cause you to automatically zoom in on information that confirms the belief, make that information seem way more important than it is, and, here's the crucial part, completely ignore anything and everything that contradicts it. Like, say, a $20 bill on the sidewalk.
So let's flip this around. How does this system end up creating what we call bad luck? Well, when you've got these negative schemas running the show, you can get trapped in a loop of self-sabotage and you won't even see it happening.
Let's make this super real. Say you have a failure schema. You see an amazing job opportunity, but that little filter in your head immediately whispers, "Don't even bother, you're just going to fail." So you don't apply. Or maybe you have an abandonment schema. You start a great new relationship, but the filter is screaming, "It's only a matter of time before they leave you." So you start acting distant or needy, or you pick fights, and you end up creating the very abandonment you were so afraid of.
Now, when these deep, painful beliefs get activated, our brains do not like it one bit. It hurts. So to protect ourselves from that pain, we develop these automatic reactions, these coping styles to try and manage the feeling. The problem is, these reactions are usually the very things that keep us stuck.
They generally fall into three buckets.
There's surrender, where you just give in. You go, yep, it's true, I'm just unlucky. Then there's avoidance. You just dodge any situation that might trigger that painful feeling, like never dating to avoid getting hurt. And finally, there's overcompensation. This is where you fight the schema so hard you go to the other extreme, creating a whole new set of problems.
And here is the punchline to the whole cycle. These very reactions, our attempts to cope, are what build the world around us that constantly proves our negative beliefs were right all along. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. We don't just find bad luck. On an unconscious level, we actually help manufacture it.
Okay, so that might sound a little intense, but this is actually where the story gets really, really hopeful. Because the moment you become aware of these hidden patterns, you get the power to change them. You can literally shift your fortune, not by changing the world out there, but by changing the world in here.
And let's be crystal clear about something. This has nothing to do with magical thinking or just wishing for a winning lottery ticket. That kind of stuff is superficial. Real, lasting change happens on a much deeper level.
The real journey to becoming a luckier person is about doing the inner work to heal these old, painful schemas. It's about consciously and patiently transforming them into healthier beliefs, beliefs that let you see yourself and the world with more clarity and compassion.
So, when you boil it all down, the key to bringing more fortune and opportunity into your life, it isn't about finding some kind of magic wand.
It's about getting a new pair of glasses. It's about finally taking off those old, warped lenses that were given to you in childhood and putting on a new pair that lets you see the opportunities that, believe it or not, have probably been there the whole time.
So I'll leave you with this final thought to chew on. What if your next big lucky break isn't some random event that happens to you, but an internal shift that happens inside of you? What if it's just about finally seeing the world as it truly is, and not as your old filters insist it has to be?